Being on a prairie dog town is a sensory experience in the best way possible. The constant chips, the barks, and the whistles. You keep going and then you're suddenly noticing a rattlesnake or the prairie wildflowers and a ferruginous hawk soaring above. By documenting these relationships of grassland birds with prairie dogs, we're recognizing that everything is connected and making a case for holistic ecosystem conservation. As keystone species, prairie dogs lie at the heart of a network of ecological interactions. As ecosystem engineers, prairie dogs burrow, graze, and clip vegetation, and this helps maintain these really open, meadow-like patches of prairie that are these distinct little islands within the overall ocean of grass. And these islands of this unique habitat type are hubs for lots of different animals to live, eat, and nest and interact with each other. But unfortunately today, prairie dogs only occupy 2% of their historic range, and this happens so rapidly that biologists haven't been able to take the time to study these interactions. As part of my project, we're trying to understand the ways that prairie dogs shape the lives of grassland birds. You would think that prairie dog towns would be a really unsafe place for birds to nest. It's really open and exposed, and there's all kinds of predators that might end up eating you or your nest. At the same time, prairie dogs may provide a lot of benefits that help grassland birds nest there safely. Prairie dogs have a really detailed and intricate alarm call system. It's possible that grassland birds could be eavesdropping to use it as a free home defense network to warn themselves about predators. These grassland birds have incredibly well camouflaged nests that are super duper hard to find. And so it's one of the most humbling things that you can do out here to realize just how feeble our powers of detection are compared to the ingenuity of these birds. But the real tough part is tracking the bird through the dense vegetation to find where they're gonna go and disappear into that nest. Nest predation rates of grassland birds are naturally really high because they are nesting in such an exposed landscape. And that means there's a lot of evolutionary pressure for chicks to get out of the nest as quickly as possible. There's quite a lot on the line because if we aren't successful at finding nests, chicks will be gone and fledged and they'll be mobile on the landscape and we can't come back to that nest and keep studying it. When we find a nest, we want to determine whether the chicks fledge successfully and essentially the health of these nests on the landscape. That gives us data on those predation rates and growth rates of chicks on and off the prairie dog town, and that allows us to make comparisons about the ways that prairie dogs are affecting bird nest success. We are seeing some early results that are really interesting. We have evidence that birds are eavesdropping on prairie dog alarm calls in ways that can benefit their nest defense behaviors. When we play prairie dog alarm calls at nesting long-billed curlews, those curlews are able to hide on the nest faster in response to predators than when there's no prairie dog alarm calls. It plays into this idea of how important it is to maintain a diversity of habitats on the prairie and the role of keystone species like prairie dogs in maintaining those habitats for birds. We're in a really critical moment for grassland conservation where there's really rapid rates of habitat loss, where we're reaching a tipping point for lots of different species. Since 1970, we've lost over 750 million grassland birds in North America. I want to listen to that cry for help. We have a great opportunity to make a really big difference for all the species that call grasslands home, to protect the areas that are still left where we have big grasslands intact at a landscape scale, but then also to work to restore degraded areas and turn the tide back in favor of the ocean of grass.